Should the Niners acquire Lyle Collins, right tackle, formerly of Cincinnati? Been released?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. And he is on the pup. It's not, he's still recovering from his ACL injury that he had about a year ago now.
Yeah.
Man, talent-wise, I would say yes, but I don't think that I don't think he's a fit with the scheme, and B, I don't know that he's any good anymore. He's now coming off of another major injury. He was originally released from Dallas due to a hip injury. He signed a big contract with Cincy. They thought he was gonna solve the problems. The little amount that he did play, he was a turnstile, and then he got injured. I just don't think that's the solution. I think a lot of people are like, "Yeah, go get him. Do it now." And I initially was like, yeah, let's kick the tires on him. I just don't think that's it. I don't think that is the answer at right tackle. Now, maybe you can overpay a Taylor Lewan and he can come in and play right tackle. I would at least venture down that path. It's unlikely, but maybe you can venture down that path over going after Lyle Collins. But I just don't think he has it anymore. I think he's sadly probably done.
Yeah, I think if he had anything left, he would be on the Bengals right now.
Yeah, they could use him. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, and if he had anything, or a team would have traded a 7th round pick for him, he wouldn't just be released. So that's the thing about trying to get a right tackle. It seems like maybe the hardest position.
It's hard.
Offensive tackle and quarterback, the two toughest positions to address mid-season. I think they're pretty much all in with Colton McKivitz.
Well, I was going to ask you about McKivitz as well, and everybody's piling on McKivitz, and somehow Burford is like just skating by with nobody really talking about him. He was just as bad, if not worse, in my opinion.
Talk about it.
Which is worrisome. He gave up one less pressure. He didn't have TJ Watt lining up over him all game, and he had 2 penalties. He did not look good. And he still might. I'm not writing him off after one game, but I really was hoping that he would take that next step, much like Banks did. Unlike Banks, he was good enough and able to get on the field in year 1, which I think was very impressive in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Rookie offensive linemen often don't get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to. And he didn't have a good training camp, much like Banks didn't have a good training camp. And a lot of people were like, oh, is he going to be good? He was not good at all. He was awful, just as bad, in my opinion, as McKivitz. That is not good. You got to have at least one of them step up and do something for the rest of the season. You cannot have both of these guys this bad all season long. That will prevent them, I believe, from winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the biggest concerns I have for the Niners, like we keep nitpicking Brock. Is he good enough? Is he not? I mean, he's pretty good. Like my questions that I have, I think the biggest questions that could hold the Niners back are the right side of the offensive line and Kyle. Because again, we just said, as long as Brock and Christian are healthy together, the team hasn't lost yet. So far, it works. But that right side of the offensive line could get Brock hurt like it already did. Kyle could get Christian McCaffrey hurt like he gets most of his running backs hurt. Sorry, Kyle. But those are my concerns. Kyle overusing his running backs and that offense, that right side not protecting the quarterback. It's a big deal. And it's not just Colton, it's Spencer Burford too. You're right. Yeah. So
everybody was looking at McKivitz, and I'm like, oh, Burford looks just as bad. This is not good at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just McKivitz had a much tougher matchup. But Burford this week has Aaron Donald. So if the Niners don't have a great game plan, which they always do against the Rams, Burford will get exposed.
Yeah.
Matt says reports out say Collins has chronic hip issues. That's not good. Josh Weiss says Taylor Moton is just dangling out there. Taylor Moton.
Yeah. Might not be a bad idea. I don't trust Moore coming off the bench.